You know why Jesus spoke that stay close to the Spirit, stay in Spirit? Yeah, it's so you wouldn't conform to this world. Now, everybody's conformed to some degree or another. However, it's like everything that Jesus said was so impactful. I mean, speaking straight to this very day. And here's why. This world, you should see it all around you. You should see it everywhere you look. Wants you to conform to it. And if you remember, who did God say the whole world lies with? The evil one. Yeah, that's what God said. If you believe in the Bible, then all of this foolishness going on shouldn't surprise you. You know the prince of the air is behind it. The media, very much. Very, very much. So the ultimate war is the mind, for sure, which is why if you keep your mind on the Spirit, you can discern better. Yet, I've seen this all through my adult life with the media, but let's take, for instance, right now, we have supposed reporters that are in war zones in Israel or Palestine giving updates, right? They did this during Iraq, Afghanistan. Keeping you there, keeping you focused, keeping you like, what's going on? What are they doing next? What are they, yeah. And it's all to socially engineer. It's designed to get you emotionally attached. Get emotionally attached to Palestine, get emotionally attached to the Jews. They don't care which one, just get emotionally attached to it. Get so emotionally attached that you can see what happens. Do you see the emotional attachment people have to the flesh right now? Because what happens when the media starts reporting on all that? Well, people become so emotionally attached that they get out on the street with Palestine flags, or they get out on the street with Israel flags. And it's everything that God said was the tricks of the wicked one. Gets you emotionally attached to this world, makes it more likely you'll conform to it, you'll fall for it. Yeah, see, wisdom, academia, all this stuff, wisdom. First of all, wisdom only comes from God, but second of all, spiritual wisdom, that is, but wisdom in general, I believe. But academia isn't going to help you when it comes to discerning. It isn't. We have been told, and everybody's believed it, and many still will believe it because they won't, again, step outside the box, but have been told about experts, all of these different experts. Yet, if we just look at the experts of science, to be an expert, you have to have a track record of success. There is not one for science. Technology, you could say there's success there, but there's not for science. There's some pills that treat some symptoms, and that's it. There's never been one thing cured. Yet the social engineering is obvious because that's who you would believe. You would believe that person you've never met that's on a screen that's telling you what to do before you would believe a family member that's a doctor. You would. Because conforming to this world means I do what the government says. And I'm not saying you shouldn't do what the government says if it's within reason. But again, they've been asking for way too much. What our media should have always been focusing on, and they won't, because really the reason they socially engineer you to attach to Palestine or Israel or Ukraine, whatever it is because it takes focus off of the one thing that they do not want to be exposed, and that is the research, the universities with the military, the military-industrial complex. Because really, if our media was legit, and at this point I don't think any of them are, I wouldn't even care if Trump said some of them are, I don't buy it. Even their pundits. What should have been being told to the American people for a long time is about all of the things that have happened because of the universities, the military-industrial complex, and research. the way it's been made to most Americans is that, oh, they just had a few, problems doing research with a couple of scientists here and there, Tuskegee and a couple of others. They're just, a few here and there. No, it's gone on before even the Holocaust. Yeah, look into it. The media could look into it, but I don't think they will. But if you're living in America, then you'd think that that's the stuff I need to know. But they likely don't want you to know that, well, for one reason, because they want to continue to do it. They're obsessed with research. The universities are obsessed, sickly obsessed with research. So they want to be able to continue to do it. But also because they figure most Americans, you can't handle that. But if you lean on God, you can, and you need to see the truth. If you're not willing to see the truth, then you probably don't want to lean on God, would be my guess. But that's what we should be being told. That's how much we've been lied to. The focus should be on the people that have been hurt, the children, the amount that the media has covered for the corrupt military industrial complex and the university and research centers is disgusting. That should be the focus. So when they want to, with their pundits, focus on the amount of Americans that have been hurt since the beginning of our founding, then maybe I'll start thinking that they're turning their ways. But I highly doubt that they are. And just to leave you, I'm looking at my time, because I know that some of this, it's like kind of scary. You think the science is what when you look into it so much. But put your mind, put your everything on faith. That's why God said, do not follow the flesh. Didn't mean not getting married, having sex, having baby. He meant do not conform to this world, because this world is going to try to get you trapped. It's going to get you trapped on money. It's going to get you trapped every which way unless you keep leaning on God. You just got to keep doing that. So this is from Romans. For to set the mind on the flesh is death, but to set the mind on the Spirit is life and peace. For the mind that is set on the flesh is hostile to God. That's obvious. We see that. Researchers are so obsessed they don't care what they do to people. That's hostile. For it does not submit to God's laws. Indeed, it cannot. Those who are in the flesh cannot please God. You, however, are not in the flesh, but in the Spirit, if in fact the Spirit of God dwells in you. Anyone who does not have the Spirit of Christ does not belong to him. But if Christ is in you, although the body is dead because of sin, the Spirit is life because of righteousness. And a little bit more, just something interesting here. From Colossians. The natural person does not accept the things of the Spirit of God, for they are folly to him. And he is not able to understand them because they are spiritually discerned. The spiritual person judges all things, but is himself to be judged by no one. For who has understood the mind of the Lord so as to instruct him? But we have the mind of Christ. That's why I always look at everything through the biblical lens, because you have to. Because ultimately, when everything falls apart and you realize, yeah, what Jesus was saying was true, and that around every corner there's a wolf in sheep's clothing, then you get, well, who am I? I have to turn to somebody. Yeah, you turn to God. And those that don't will be in fear, but there's nothing to fear. Now we have received not the spirit of the world, but the Spirit who is from God, that we might understand the things freely given to us by God. And we impart this in words not taught by human wisdom, but taught by the Spirit, interpreting spiritual truths to those who are spiritual. So, in order to discern, you can't listen to the wisdom of men. You must follow the Spirit of God.